Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Edi Kanobut and this is Isaac News. So today on Isaac News we're going to be looking at the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, popularly called EFCC. And we're going to be looking at what EFCC has done up from 2010 up until 2021. It's going to be a very brief history of convictions. Okay, convictions per year. And we're going to crown it with the convictions that have happened in 11 months of 2022. So let me just give you figures. So between January and November this year, this video is being made in November of 2022. Between January and November this year, the EFCC has made 3,328 convictions. This is a figure as stated by the EFCC boss, Mr. Abdul Rashid Bawa. 3,328 convictions in 11 months. So we're going to be looking. There's a lot of speculations on social media, on general media space, that EFCC has been more corrupt in the present government. That they've not been doing their job. They've not been doing what they ought to do. So I'm going to tell you some personal stories of that I've heard, from people very close to me about EFCC, and then I'm going to give you the history of conviction from 2010 up until 2022. So please stay tuned and enjoy the rest of the video. Like, share, subscribe, and engage with me in the comment section. So when our President Muhammadu Buhari came into office, before he came into office, part of the things he said he would do was to wage war against the very corrupt system in Nigeria. So Nigeria is corrupt to its very core, like the very fabric of our society is corrupt. Corruption is in every sector, political, social, religious, is everywhere. And he cannot fight outside the boundaries of, like, say, the civil realm. You can't get fighting corruption in the church, I guess. But he really intended to wage war. A lot of Nigerians felt that he's going to come and walk outside the rule of law, meaning that he'll come and he'll begin to lock people up in prisons. He'll just look for one corrupt man and just put him in prison. But being that we operate in a democracy, that is not how democratic government operating. You don't just lock people up because you feel and you are sure that they are corrupt. If anybody that is a suspect is still a suspect until proven guilty. So you have to prove this guy is guilty before you can even lock them up or seize their funds. And in reality, whether we like it or not, in reality, even you that may not agree with my point, in your life right now, whoever is listening to me, there are some people who are cutting corners and you cannot confront them. For whatever reasons you have, you just know that confronting them will not be, that you know that you cannot, even though it's paining you. They are like your main man, they're your close people, your close friends, and they are cutting corners, but you can't confront them. Because if you do so, there would be ripple effect that would be, very, very, what's happening me right now? That would be very disastrous and, bad. So you are trying to play cautious. You try to, focus on issues that have, lesser consequences. So people, even sometimes say to me, why is EFCC going after Yahoo boys alone? Why are they going after small people? Why don't they go after the big and the top guys in the society? And I say what I'm saying now. Some people have so positioned themselves that if you touch them, they will not go down alone. They will go down with the economy. So because of that, I'm not justifying this. So I'm not saying that these people should not be touched. I'm not saying that they should not be imprisoned or anything. I'm just saying that in reality, some people are untouchable because of the value they bring to the table, although they are corrupt. So we are going to be grateful for the convictions that they have even made. Be it Yahoo boys, be it small politicians, at least they are working, to do what they can do with the authority available to them. If I talk too much, as I often do, let's get into the history. So in the year 2010, who was president then? What's that his name again? Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. Well, he died in 2010. So Jonathan came up, but let us just say it was Yar'Adua's time. Year 2010, EFCC made only 68 convictions. In 2011, they made 67 convictions. Pay attention. In 2012, they made 87 convictions. In 2013, 117 convictions. This is a whole federal parastatal. 2014, 126 convictions. There's no data for 2015 on my list. In 2016, 195 convictions. 2017, 189. Now, 2017, this is the administration of our current president. And honestly speaking, I expected a better figure than this. This is my honest remark. This is not necessarily. I expected that, as he came, he's going to come and shake things. But I think there was a mindset he had that when he entered office, he knew that it's easy to say certain things and it's harder to implement them. So, but then by 2018, 312 convictions. Then I think as of 2019, we had 1,280 convictions. That's like 6 times more. Oh my God. I'm sorry, it's not 6 times more. That's 4 times more than the previous year, which was 312. By 2020, we just had 976. And that would be because, 2020, the whole world was locked down due to the coronavirus outbreak. So everybody was not doing as much as, they could have. But in 2021, we bounced back and we had a total of 2,220 convictions by the EFCC. And then this year, 2022, in the first 11 months, we had 3,328 convictions. Okay, and the chairman said that in the remaining 5 weeks of this year, there's a lot of convictions that they are yet to make. They are, still in courts fighting, still fighting to bring certain cases to the book and to convict these people where necessary. Okay, then I'll now share my story with you. So, sometime last year or early this year, I'm in University of Uyo. So something took me and some of my friends to permanent site at our university permanent campus, and we entered a particular lodge. We were just talking to some people around, trying to stir them up to do positive stuff. And we spoke to a particular guy, and this guy, his room was, my God, his room was lit. His room was well furnished. There was AC. This is a student's lodge. There was AC in the room. It was well painted, very costly decorations. The curtains were very costly. The paint was, just think the furniture, the layout, the air freshener. I think he had 2 iPhones. The guy was very comfortable. And remember, me and my friend, we just keep looking around. We were like, wow, see students like this is this is amazing. If you're living abroad, this may be a norm, but over here in Nigeria, Akwa, this is strange. This guy is, probably he's doing Yahoo. Internet fraud, okay, scam. Then, fast forward a few weeks from then, we went back to that lodge to follow up on what we were doing. And we found out that on a particular day, EFCC came to the lodge as early as, I think, 5 a.m. or 5:30. They came to the lodge with vans. They came with, with buses, and they came, so they locked down the whole room and they locked the whole lodge down and went to, I think it's a 2-story building with a lot of rooms. They went in room by room to search every room. So you just see them knock very scary and vigorously, knock on your door and tell you it's the police, open up. If you don't open up after 1 minute, they will break down the door and they will barge in. And sometimes I feel that we can be very scary with the way we operate in our military, whatever. English has failed me again. But they went in there, and this particular friend of mine unfortunately was actually taken because they went through his phones, went through his records, and they saw very suspicious things. And in that whole lodge, a number of guys were taken. Their laptops were taken, their iPhones were taken, and they went to prison. In fact, every guy with very suspicious records were taken. And some people came back because when they took them to custody, they found out that some of them were not guilty. Okay, that they had more money from very honest means. So some people were returned back, but this was the first time that I even, would I say, got to fully understand that EFCC actually works, so in the sense that you don't just go after corrupt politicians and very big men in maybe people who worked in the government, probably ministers or commissioners. You actually go after fraudsters and scammers. So this was a very, would I say, up close experience, although it wasn't personal to me. And so I hear people complain that, oh, EFCC goes after Yahoo boys. Why don't they go after that and go after that? At least they are going after those that they can go after, and they would be commended for for this feat. So moving on, looking at what has been achieved this year, the commissioner equally said that 2 days ago, it got to the court to forfeit, to the federal government a sum of 755 million naira, which was recovered from the former accountant general of the federation. So this is to show us that, honestly speaking, the EFCC has been working, to also put corrupt politicians to the book. It's not just Yahoo boys and people who don't have so much authority in society, but a lot of work has been going on. And a latest development also, I read on the news, give it 1 or 2 weeks ago, that EFCC, they just put in the news that certain governors, majority of them from the south or southern part of Nigeria, were planning to pay their workers in cash due to the new Naira redesign and the whole reabsorption of the former Naira note. So certain governors didn't disclose their identity, who they felt had stored up a lot of cash and were trying to get rid of this cash so that it wouldn't be useless to them. We are planning to pay their whole workforce in cash in the coming months. So EFCC got that tip, and they sent the tip to those governors and told them, we are watching you, don't try any nonsense. And so from the reports, the governors actually held back and did not try to pay their staffs anymore in cash. So this is to say that the EFCC has been doing a lot. They've been doing a lot to see how to fight corruption with like I said, with the authorities available to them. They don't have supreme authority, they don't have all authority, but what they have, they are trying to see how to do the best with what they have, and they must be appreciated, they must be thanked, and wish them the best of luck. Personally, since the new EFCC boss came into office as their leader, I think there's been a lot of change. They've had more convictions, they've been more thorough, they've been more forthright, they've been discharging their duties more than they used to. And so all accolades, all honor should be given to their boss, Mr. Abdul Rashid Bawa. If I butchered the name, pardon me. I'm from South Akwa Ibom, to be very specific. So I speak Ibibio, not Hausa. But he has been doing a lot of work, and we appreciate him, we commend him, and we ask that the Almighty would show him favor and show him love. So this is the end of today's video. Please like, share, subscribe. If you don't mind, you can also drop some of your own experiences with the EFCC, be it good or bad. Okay, I'm not saying that EFCC have not made mistakes. Even in the US, a lot of people have been in prison, and 45 years later, they will find out that they were not guilty, and all the government will say is sorry, because it can't say more than that, because our human beings are not perfect. So EFCC has also made very, very terrible decisions that have affected many lives, put people in poverty and other things, and we are not happy about it. But then we commend them where they are trying, and we appreciate them where they are doing the best to purge the society of menace and of evil. If I talk too much, as I often do, till we see you again, remain blessed.